I don't play a whole lot of point and click games, so it takes a game like The Drifter to really come out and sell me on this. And man, did this game sell me. So I've talked about this game a lot on the channel, not a lot on the channel. I've talked about it a little bit. I played the Steam Next Fest demo. I was like, this game is cooking. There's a lot going on here that I really approve of and I really like. So I really enjoyed it. And then the fine folks at Powerhuff did send me a key to check out this game. So really appreciate them for supporting the channel by sending me a review key. So I'm gonna talk about some of the things that I like, some of the things that I don't like. Spoilers, there's not a whole lot that I don't like about this game because I really enjoy this game a lot. So let me talk about what The Drifter is about if you haven't heard about it already. So the description says it is a pulp adventure thriller. A murdered drifter awakens alive again seconds before his death, hunted and haunted. Help him untangle a mad web of a conspiracy in this fast-paced point-and-click thrill ride. So yeah, really fun. So immediately, one of the things that I loved about this game is the pixel art. So I've been really getting into my love of pixel art over the past couple of years. So really enjoy the way that they make everything so expressive in just the amount of pixels. It's kind of like low pixels, so not like the most heavily pixelated games. You can see that in a lot of the facial expressions of the characters. You can see that in a lot of the animations that are present in every single action scene, and it looks fantastic. I love it. It's really good, really awesome pixel art. You can really tell and see how a character is feeling in the moment that you see them in this various scenes that they're in. The game also describes itself as having a 70s Aussie grindhouse feel to it. It is really dark and gritty. It kind of reminds me of something of Quentin Tarantino, something that he would write or something that he would direct. So really enjoy that. Like it says pulp thrill ride, like Pulp Fiction. So really enjoy that. I love the retro feel to it. Love the aesthetic and everything that is going on within this game. So really loved it and really enjoyed the story that is present. So it's very gripping, and each story is told in chapters. And what's really interesting is that after you end the chapter, it gives you the option to save and quit. So as soon as you end a chapter, you can save and quit the game, just like you're kind of closing a chapter on a book. So I really enjoyed that. It kind of like paces it very well that way. I feel like each chapter is probably about an hour a piece, and I think there's about 9 chapters in total, so you can probably get this game in about 9 hours. But I really enjoyed the fact that you can just get through this game, and if you want to stop right after you finish a chapter, you can do that and then pick it up again just like you would a book. So really enjoyed that as well. The voice acting is incredible, and in a minute I'm going to drop out to just show you how the voice acting is in this game. But the voice acting is very well professionally done.
Turn to cutting with renewed strength. At last, the ropes give way. I kick to the surface, glimpse brutalist concrete rising from the chop, and swim towards it. Collapsed on the embankment, shivering in the bitter wind, I try to make sense of what's happened. I died.
You're playing the character of Mick, so that is the Drifter in this game, and his main voice actor is Adrian Vaughn. So shout out to him for doing a fantastic job, and not just voicing Mick, the character that you're playing, but also Mick's inner dialogue that you will see throughout. So every time you interact with an object, anytime you perform an action, he will do an inner monologue. It's also really interesting, especially when you're dying or going through any sort of like heavy action sequence. It's very well written. I really enjoy the voice acting. Everyone else aside from Adrian does a really good job, and I really enjoyed the voice acting in there. So yeah, fantastic voice acting. I also really love the gameplay. Now I know it's a point and click adventure game, so you don't really have much to do in terms of gameplay. Essentially, you are clicking around various objects, picking it up, investigating them, interacting with other objects, maybe combining other objects together to kind of make something happen, like having a knife interact with a rope or having a lighter interact with a piece of cloth that has been doused in alcohol. It's not the most complex of gameplay systems, but because of how action-packed the story is, the gameplay really keeps you engaged because you will be time limited in some of your more action set pieces, especially when you get towards the end of a certain chapter. So if you don't really figure out what you need to do, you will die. You'll come back, but you will die. And I really like the way it's well animated and how Mick's inner dialogue goes off every time he dies, and that kind of plays into the story, the kind of whole conspiracy of what you're going through. So there's a lot of characters you interact with and how he interacts with the world and how he's seen one thing and other people seen a different thing. So yeah, I don't want to give too much away. I don't want to spoil the story. I don't want to give too much of what is going on. But if you play the game, you know exactly what I'm talking about, and you can see how well voice acted it is in your death scene. This game does not hold your hand. It is a lot of trial and error, a lot of error, so you probably might die a lot, and maybe not. Maybe if you're someone who's really good at solving these, you know, very cinematic puzzles or some of these set pieces within these action scenes, you can kind of get through it. But again, there's no like heavy tutorial outside of like what to do in terms of how you interact with some of your core menus, but other than that, you really just kind of pick up and go when you do your point and click adventure. So yeah, it does not hold your hand, and that kind of leads me to my only negative about this game. I didn't really find too many things that I didn't like because it is a point and click, and so this is very heavy on the narrative, very heavy on the story, and very heavy on the voice acting, which I loved a lot. But what I said before is that this game does not hold your hand. So while you're going through the game, if you get stuck on a puzzle, you will get stuck and you will just have to click around and figure out what you need to do, look at all your items, kind of assess what the dialogue is saying, assess what you kind of need to do, because Mick will kind of give you hints of what you need to do next, but you have to use the objects in your inventory to figure out what you need to do next. And maybe you die, or maybe you don't die, maybe you have to go back to one place or other. But again, this game does not hold your hand, and I really feel like sometimes there are certain objects that were kind of hidden, or also some magic pixels that I really couldn't find, or the tiniest little pixel that I couldn't find an object to be able to progress the story forward. And so there are times when I'm playing and I just feel like I'm stuck for a long time, probably longer than I should be, and then only to find that I just didn't click in this particular area. So yeah, I thought sometimes some of the items that you need to find, because it's a very dark story, there's a lot of darkness, like just lighting wise in the game, you can't really see all the objects that you can interact with. So yeah, I think that was the thing that I was like, man, I wish there was like more indications of where some objects would be, maybe more of like a glint of where an object is. But again, that probably defeats the purpose of like a standard point and click, and I really enjoyed the difficulty within that, which is not really a difficulty, I think is the difficulty in the point and click mechanic. But overall, there's really nothing else for me to complain about, because I really like this game. I really enjoyed the voice acting, really enjoyed the story, the gameplay systems are there, and it's a point and click adventure. So again, nothing really to complain about, at least for me, at least on my end. But yeah, I really like it. At the time of recording this, I haven't finished it yet, but I am in the process of finishing it. But every time I sit down to play this game, I am locked in immensely. I am ready to go, and as soon as I finish a chapter, sometimes I want to keep going, but other times I just want to marinate on the story and marinate on the things that just happens, because a lot of times it will leave you in suspense at the end of a chapter as it leads into the next bit of story. So yeah, it does leave me on the edge of my seat. Sometimes I'm kind of holding my breath during these more tense action scenes, during more of these tense moments, and I'm like, man, what is going to happen? Am I going to make it through? And you make it through, and then it ends on a cliffhanger, and you're like, oh man, that was a great like set piece, that was a great story, and I can't wait to see what's next. Probably one of the best point and clicks that has come out this year. Voice acting is incredible, the story is gripping, and will keep you engaged the entire time. So yeah, if you're someone who's into these type of games, I highly recommend it. Let me know in the comments if you've been playing the Drifter, or if you're going to pick up the Drifter after watching this video. Yeah, and if you want to see more indie game videos from me, I talk about indie games all the time on this channel, either through an LP, either through a kind of review or yap video like this. But if you want to see those, they will pop up on the screen as this video closes out. But thank you so much for watching. Hope you play the Drifter, and let me know in the comments, and if not, let me know what else you're playing. I always love having conversations in the comments, so let me know what you're playing, or if you're gonna play the Drifter. But again, thank you so much for watching. My name is Chike, and I will see you on the next one. Peace out.